happy. So come with me if you want to live the life. I'm Peter Mathias, and I'm unplugged in magnificent Marrakesh. I've been leading guided culinary adventures in exotic locations for well over a decade. And I call those who join me my gastro-nomads. My wanderings have taken me deep into the heart of exotic cultures, and Morocco has become one of my all-time favorite countries. This land of sweet rosebuds and fresh bread, pungent olives and aromatic spices is intoxicating. And what better way to introduce it to others? My quest for great Moroccan food leads to the Atlantic port of Safi. It's just an hour and a half from Marrakesh. This seaside city sparkles, and the white and blue painted buildings are a refreshing change from Marrakesh's clay-baked red. Safi's appearance owes much to its Portuguese legacy. The 16th century occupiers built the ancient Medina walls, the Kishla fortress on the hill, and the imposing Dar el-Bahar fortress on the foreshore. It's utterly charming. The big business here is sardines, both for export and around Morocco.
This is the fish market. It's 10 in the morning. The boats have been coming in since 8. On a good day in the summer, they can bring in 20 to 30 tons. It's absolutely amazing. It's mostly sardines. There's no smell. Everything is sort of have a sense of great joy about it. And women come here and buy fish for their families, or they have buyers that come in and buy it to sell to restaurants.
The Moroccan sardine industry nets over 2 billion dirhams in export earnings a year, and they are the best sardines in the world. Their way of fishing in the traditional blue, green and white wooden fishing boats is both honest and meaningful. It's easy to become utterly immersed in this age-old fishing ritual. Generations of seafarers have hauled and gutted sardines on this very shore. Some of these fellows indeed look rather piratical.
They're slightly cross though.
For my very anticipated share of today's catch, I head with my guide Majid past the old fort to a collection of rustic foreshore eateries dedicated solely to sardines. Majid is a born and bred Safi man, and he's a dab hand at helping prepare what's to become a feast.
So they've just got salt, pink sea salt on them. One more. And you put them in this cute little grill, and you put it on the flame. The best thing about these cafes is the crap music. It's really absolutely amazing. It's like 1950s Italian. And these fish have just jumped out of the sea, you know. If they were any fresher, you'd have to slap them. And then everything gets eaten. There's no refrigeration, and then you start again the next day.
This is fish and chips Safi style. It's complemented by chopped tomatoes, bread, and harissa, a Tunisian hot sauce.
You eat this with your fingers. They're not scaled. They put all the salt on to make it crunchy, and you just peel the skin off. They don't eat the skin, and then you take the flesh that's in underneath. It's incredibly sweet, incredibly tender, and not kind of strong or sardine at all. It's very, very delicate.
Sardines are Safi's lifeblood, and the narrow alleyways of the ancient Medina are its arteries. Inside the Medina, people lead their lives much like they have for centuries. Like most Medina inhabitants, they don't have ovens at home and take their bread to the communal bakery. Traditional food can be found at every turn.
This shop is very famous in town. It's really tiny, and these ladies specialize in harsha, which is a specialty of this region, and it's a corn bread. Look at this. And they bring it to you on beaches quite often. It's really bright yellow and crunchy. Absolutely delicious.
Life here seems full of sincerity and simplicity, and there's a tangible connection between the people and their town's rich history.
Toujours un grand port, surtout avec l'arrivée des Phéniciens, les anciens, après les Portugais. C'est les Portugais avec les découvertes géographiques que la marine portugaise a été très connue.
Oui.
Ils sont arrivés jusqu'ici. Ici, le cap de Safi, il est très important. Tu peux le trouver marqué dans les grandes cartes maritimes de tout le monde.
But there is definitely a real spirit of get up and go in this old city. It's like the municipal leaders can sense Safi is on the cusp of being more recognized, and they're smartening up in preparation.
Toujours, c'est pourquoi je vous aide à le connaître, à le faire connaître, comme ça il sera connu par les étrangers, son image de l'ancienne histoire va se refaire une autre fois, Inch'Allah.
Adorable, gentle Safi is famous for two things: sardines and pottery. This is the area where they make the pottery, and up on the hills you can see all the kilns.
The beehive-shaped kilns and the pottery workshops look like they've just risen up from the surrounding clay.
The clay is brought in, and then he works it a little bit like that to soften it up, and then they make the bowls. On their turning plates, and then they put the pots out in the sun for 3 hours to dry.
And when there's an ample supply, the kilns are fired up. Then time-honored, practice-to-perfection designs are painted on. Morocco is world famous for its pottery, and this gorgeous seaside town is the source of much of it. So it's a real pleasure to meet the makers and buy direct. Coming up, the sardine theme continues. My gastro-nomads head to a Marrakesh market and try their hands at marinated sardines barbecued in the alley and complemented by fresh Moroccan salads. My culinary tour party is happily camped at the Hotel du Trésor. This riad turned quirky guest house is situated deep in Marrakesh's Medina. The perfect location from which to delve into the maze of alleyways. There's no time to waste. I'm so inspired by the sardines of Safi, and I want my gastro-nomads to experience them too. Amina, Hotel du Trésor's very talented and knowledgeable cook, is at the helm. The business at hand concerns lunch.
This souk is very special. It's the mellah, which is a Jewish quarter. And in my opinion, it has the most expensive, but it has the best quality food in the Medina. And so this is where Amina and I always come.
This market combines all manner of very fresh meat under one roof. I bought pigeons here on a previous foray. There's numerous ways in which to purchase chickens. Today, though, it's sardines, of course. They'll have only travelled a couple of hours from the coast, most likely from Safi.
And there's lots of fake saffron around as well. And how you tell fake saffron is if it doesn't smell like saffron. Here we've bought our sardines and now we're at the vegetable, and my favourite vegetable stall because they're very open and they'll let us come in and touch everything. So we've got all our vegetables and the next stop is the spice stall. There are about 6 basics, but then they'll use lots of other different things. Then it ain't. Ah, cannelle, merci. Nutmeg. Okay, we're leaving. Can't count. The pink one. Vous avez mis ça? Yeah. They're good in touch. Oh, they're very salty. Yeah, but they're very nice fishy. No. Yuck. Au revoir.
I have some truly fabulous Moroccan-inspired salads in mind.
We've invented our own New Zealand Moroccan salad, which is fresh peas. Normally they cook them. Most of these salads are cooked. So we've got fresh peas. I had to tie everyone in the kitchen down and you know, to not cook the peas twice. So we just steam the peas, and we've got fresh tomatoes, we've got fresh mint, because New Zealanders love eating mint with peas, and then just a regular dressing of olive oil and lemon juice.
Voila, our first of 3 salads.
This is how they cut onions here, because they're used to obviously cutting everything in their hands, because normally they would have been squatting on the floor. And they hold the onion in their hands and make a whole lot of cuts all the way around. And then they cut it across the top. And I think it's a great way to cut onions. Now, c'est pas trop?
This second salad's a colourful melange of onions, peppers, tomatoes and coriander, which again we'll dress very simply. And lastly, a salad in which carrot rules.
Over here, if you want to do that. Into which you put freshly squeezed orange juice. Tout?
Non, pas tout.
No, la moitié.
La moitié, oui.
Okay. You put about a teaspoon of sugar?
3 cuillères.
Yeah, 3. She's Moroccan. We also have orange blossom water, which is used a lot. And you have to be careful with orange and rose blossom water because it's actually quite strong. So just a teaspoon is enough.
Okay.
And we also put ground cinnamon. And that's it. And that's it. Yeah, tu mélanges. And that's it, and I can't tell you how delicious it is to combine carrots and oranges.
All of this, of course, is to accompany our silvery sardines.
What we're doing here is the sardines that the fishmonger removed the backbones from. We're now just cleaning them of any little bits and pieces, any bits of scale we find, although they have been scaled. Then we're going to put them in the marinade, and then we're going to barbecue them.
Now, Amina's marinade is simple and sensational. Lemon juice, garlic, paprika, cumin, pepper, sea salt and olive oil.
We're really lucky in this hotel because obviously it's not a teaching hotel. It's been completely traumatic for the staff, but now they love it. Is that a lot of the boys here come from Safi, which is where the sardines come from, and they really know how to cook sardines on a barbecue. And they have arguments with the cook, who thinks for some obscure reason that she knows better than they do. chef, on va le mettre là. There are many ways of preparing sardines, of course. Most commonly you get them eaten whole or maybe stuffed, but I've actually never eaten them like this, and it's absolutely wonderful. That was very cute. I said, merci, madame, as a joke, and she whispered, what was that?
My gastro-nomads will treasure moments like these. I'm always so inspired by the catch of the day, no matter where I travel in the world. And Morocco's ancient port city of Safi has really captured my heart. Even though I didn't take my gastro-nomads to Safi, it was absolutely wonderful to introduce them to the flavors of Moroccan sardines with our alleyway barbecue. I feel very blessed in coming from New Zealand, where fish is plentiful and varied. And while sardines don't really figure, there's lots of fabulous fish species which lend themselves well to Moroccan cooking.
Now, back in my kitchen, I am going to make one of the most famous dishes in Safi, which is the tagine de boulettes de sardine, or in English, which is not quite as romantic, fishball stew. Most people all over the world are never going to be able to get a sardine like you can in Safi. So I've used fish instead, which is a perfectly honourable solution. You can use any fish you like, and that goes in the food processor to be chopped, chopped, chopped. Not to a complete desperate pulp. Half an onion. Breadcrumbs. Fresh breadcrumbs are particularly necessary for this. If you use dried shop-bought breadcrumbs, it's just going to turn into a mush. We will also chop up some parsley and some coriander. This is paprika, which is used a lot in Moroccan cooking. This is ginger and ground cumin, which is also used a lot in Moroccan cooking. Lemon juice and some pepper, a bit of salt. You mix this in. It doesn't have an egg in it. It just all sticks together, all on its own. Right, now, Moroccans like little fish balls. So you can't cheat and think this is not going to take quite so long. You put them together in your hands like this, from hand to hand, and then give a little roll, and they stick together all on their own. Now we're going to make the sauce. Saffron. Saffron has to be opened up. I'll pour hot water on top of it, and you can see already that it's releasing the colour. The water's starting to turn orange, and you leave it to soak like that for half an hour.
Onions and garlic form the base of the sauce. Next, add chopped tomatoes, celery leaves and green peppers.
The green peppers. I also am going to put some parsley in, because if you haven't put either parsley, mint or coriander in a Moroccan dish, then you ain't Moroccan.
In go the flavours of Morocco I love. Ginger, cumin, paprika, and some seasoning.
The saffron that has been soaking for half an hour. Turn the heat up a little bit. Mix all that around. Put the tagine lid on. And cook that gently for half an hour. By that time, all the tomatoes will have melted down and all the flavours will have gone in together. And then you can cook your boulet in the sauce. We will slide in our little boulet. They won't fall apart. They'll be fine. Just let them sit there. They will take about probably 5 minutes to steam through. And you serve it like that. Because you've got a beautiful tagine dish, you serve it on the table in the tagine dish, and people just take their own. And of course, in Marrakesh, they eat with their fingers. And they just slop all the sauce up with lots of gorgeous Moroccan bread. But for people like me, they usually give me a spoon to do it.
Morocco's Safi is just one of many places in the world where fishing sustains daily life. Walking in the sparkling Atlantic surf on Safi's pristine La Plage La Fatna, I think about Morocco's amazing sardines. They may on the face of it still seem plentiful, but like any Atlantic nation, Morocco is very aware of dwindling fishing grounds and providing for future generations. I dearly hope, as Safi develops its tourist potential in a bid to keep its economy going, that the charm and authenticity of the region is preserved. It's a privilege to be here, experiencing the hope and excitement of a town, reaching out to the modern world while treasuring its age-old traditions. Unplugged in Safi. It's captured my heart and my taste buds. Join me again. We wrap our action-packed gastronomic adventure with lashings of mint tea.
And they put a little bit of absinthe in the tea when you're making mint tea. A little secret trick to get a bit stoned while you're drinking your tea.
Slatherings of divine Moroccan argan oil.
Absolutely gorgeous, nutty, roasty flavour.
And fresh as fresh, herbaceous offerings inspired by the flavours of this magnificent land.